This will be a glimpse of my one-year tour in Vietnam. I was there with the Army as an infantry mortarman. I arrived in country here at Cam Ranh Bay. After just a few days, I was convoyed up to here, Chu Lai, the headquarters of the Mirakel Division. After about a week, I was choppered inland to here, the Khe Sanh Valley. Well, it's departure time, stewardess and all. Leaving the States from San Francisco. It took a while. One leg of the flight from Honolulu to Manila was an 18-hour jaunt. We finally got to Nam. It was 10 o'clock at night, and when I stepped out of the plane, that humidity hit me like a rock. After a while, you get used to it. I've left Cam Ranh Bay and on my way to Chu Lai. This is Tam Key. Check out the traffic cop. This is Chu Lai's USO beach. And it's the South China Sea directly behind me. Welcome to Deuce City. It's a 5-gun mortar platoon located at LZ Ross. There's a lot of sandbag bunkers up there. There's a not too scenic river running by the LZ. Here's a view of the valley from the LZ. That's an abandoned Christian temple out there. I was first assigned to the platoon's Fire Direction Center. Here I am, eating dinner in their bunker. But that gig didn't last long, and I found myself on a gun and in Smitty's squad. They were a good group of guys, and it's funny how you can build strong bonds with guys in time. I helped these guys deliver supplies to the Rock Quarry Outpost. It was only a few miles away, and we had an 81 mortar squad there. The guys introduced me to some friends that they made from the nearby village of Khe Sanh. Turtle, he's got the glasses on, likes to entertain the girls. Little did I know this would be my only trip to this outpost, and my last chance to commune with civilian Vietnamese. These Vietnamese are hired for $1 a day to fill sandbags at the rock quarry. These barbers are busy, and they're from Khe Sanh. This was a popular spot in the evening. I'd find these guys hanging around the mess hall. This baby water buffalo was skittish, but he'd let you pet him. Tom and Fido were catching a few Z's. The lieutenant was talking to one of the troops. Communing at the beer hall. USO entertainment always drew a crowd. We stopped at this laundry service after we started getting ringworm. When the military laundry service was late, we did it ourselves. Sergeant Rick is checking out a fire mission. Sergeant Art is sighting in the guns. Here my squad is, all geared up and ready to rotate out to an outpost. We spend about half our time in the LZ and the other half on the outposts. On one of my trips over to the outpost, I went in this little observation chopper and was accompanied by a one-star general. That chopper didn't have any firepower. The Huey, our usual transportation, had a M16 machine gun at each door. One of the outposts that we went to was on a mountaintop. The rest of them were usually just in the valley on a little bit of a rise. I'm bringing back a good dinner from the mess line on the chopper pad. Normally on the outposts, we have to get by with sea rations. On this mountaintop outpost, we had a 155 howitzer. I thought our 4-deuce mortars were noisy. This 106 recoilless rifle could put out some firepower. One of its dud rounds is getting exploded here. A piece of shrapnel left from the explosion. The familiar chore of filling sandbags. Sergeant Dave's eating a few C's on the pit wall, while Bob's in the ammo bunker setting charges. Fun and games in the pit. A good view of the valley below, atop the outpost rider. It's a sea of fog on this morning. It got a little damp during the monsoon season. Payday was a little cool. Recon team members are scoping targets on Outpost Cobra. George is removing the waterproofing jungle wrap from an 81 mortar round. Nothing better than a good barbecue on Christmas. I'm digging into my goodie bag. Yeah, the smoke wasn't fun, but that chicken sure tasted good. This Huey had to get extracted from one of the outposts. And there it goes. Test firing an 81 mortar, along with some other weapons. It's a typical day on Outpost Cobra. While Joe and Mike are working on top of the bunker, we have the Popular Force Vietnamese squad wandering around. Dwayne had to get rid of an unwanted visitor. Supplies arriving for an outpost. These guys are waiting to get extracted from an outpost. Here they're getting picked up by a Chinook. A little dark inside there. And it's bye-bye outpost. It's stand-down time. By Chinook, it's only a short ride over to Chu Lai. It's a full week of relaxation. I was even able to get a call home from the communications headquarters. The Chu Lai airport looked busy. These F-111s were busy. I had to get up and close to this Cobra. My turn for R&R finally came up. I was Australia bound. A lot of tropical water on that flight. Sydney was really impressive. And then it was back to the old grind. I'd been based on Ross for 8 months now, and now the mortar platoon is up and moving to LZ Baldy, where I'll spend the last 4 months of my tour. It was back to sandbagging. We had a lot of new bunkers to build. And before you know it, we were back in operation. Break time. It looks like our new facility had a little bit better accommodations. One Gun's day-long Soul Brothers rummy game in session. The mess hall was definitely bigger. KP wasn't too fun. Seemed like we had a few more barbecues. It seemed like the beer was a little bit more plentiful, even though it was still warm. Here are some short timers about ready to head back to the States. We still had a lot of fire missions and defensive targets that kept us busy. Things got muddy in the wet season. They had a pretty impressive perimeter around this large LZ. This perimeter bunker was impressive. Unfortunately, we'd have VC get through every so often, and we would have to perform fire missions with live AK rounds flying around. Well, all good things have to come to an end. My year was up. It was about ready for me to head back to the States. There was a group of us all leaving at the same time. One last get-together before we left. And that's the way it was.